Alrighty, guys. Welcome into the talk today, Sunday afternoon. Hope everybody had a great time in church. Guys, I'm going to do a little bit of sharing here. Uh, just bear with me a second. We are going to do a little sharing. And let's see if this will work. There it is. Yeah. But I hope everybody's having a great weekend. There we go. I got that now. So, hey Sandra, how are you today? Kathy Scott. Uh, but we're still on a journey. Uh, we, me and India both, uh, still haven't smoked a cigarette. And for me, going this long, it's probably been 18 years that I went this long without, maybe longer, without smoking a cigarette. So it's a very huge accomplishment for me and India both. India, I think she said it's been 25 years for her since she went this long without a cigarette. The last time we actually really tried, several years back, we went about 2.5 days and we both broke down and didn't complete it. But this time it feels different. Uh, I know I did my blood pressure today, and I've got one of those cuff machines, and you have to. They're not accurate, uh, like somebody actually taking your blood pressure. So my first reading from this arm was like 150 over 99. I know it, Evil Lenny. I'm here with you guys. This is our church today. But then I did it again. You got to wait a little bit, and it was something different. So I did it in the other arm, something different. And the bottom number sort of had me concerned because it was around 100, and the top number, 150, 160. But the stupid thing, we finally, I rested and was sitting still, and the last one I took was like 130 over 80 something. So I don't know how accurate those machines are that you use, but I noticed one thing that I was really pleased with: my heart rate. Lenny, my heart rate was down there around 60 something, which my heart rate hasn't been that good. And which the most time the lower your heart rate, uh, the less your heart's having to work. Uh, and you know, if it gets on up there, when you start exercising and stuff, your heart rate goes up because your heart's working harder. So I think 60, sitting down resting, 60 is a pretty nice heart rate because it was like 80 or 90, sometimes up to 100 beats a minute. So within 6 days of not smoking any cigarettes, already my heart rate has decreased. Uh, my blood pressure is starting to go down. Uh, I feel better. I mean, I just all around feel better. Now the anxiety of being used to smoking for years and years and years and years and trying to create a new habit. And I've done told India, I said I'm not gonna swap one habit to thank you, Shelley. I'm not gonna swap one habit for another habit. Like I'm not gonna swap. And me and Evil Lenny talked about this the other night, which he talked about, being having an addiction and stuff, and he gained weight and stuff. And I'm not throwing off on Evil Lenny for doing that. I'm proud that he gave up that addiction and changed his life around. Proud for him. But I don't want to give up smoking and then yeah, that's what you told me the other night. Evil Lenny, I don't want to do that. I mean, I don't want to go from non-smoking to being overweight. Now, I'm trying to say that I don't want to offend Evil Lenny. That's my buddy. Uh, but I don't want to do that because I think being overweight is about as unhealthy as smoking. And I know there's a lot of preachers uh, and different people that harp on smoking. Smoking is bad for you, but they'll harp on it, and they'll be like 150 pounds overweight, and which is just as unhealthy as far as diabetes and heart condition and all this stuff. Uh, it is, and Evil Lenny, I tell you, uh, but he's a lot better off than what the things that he was doing and stuff. Uh, so, and the vapes. Now I've got here's a little one right here, and I'm not going to swap cigarettes for these. I'm just not going to do it. One habit for another. And what I'm doing when I have a trigger, and a trigger is something that triggers you wanting a cigarette, and we get done eating. I always look forward to smoking after I get done eating. So when I have a trigger, I'll grab one of these, and I've got something in my hand, and I don't even know if that one works. Now do that. But I know a lot of people will swap cigarettes for these, and I'm using it sort of as a mechanism to have something to do with my hands and to get over that initial shock of not having your cigarette when you get done eating, not having your cigarette when first thing when you get in your vehicle, not having a cigarette when you first wake up in the morning. Now notice I'm using this less and less. Like this morning, right, right, Evil Lenny, right, Jason. Uh, so I noticed this morning I don't reach for this. Uh, so I don't want to trade one bad habit for another because before I'll just start eating. Right, Jason. I don't want to trade one bad habit for another. I'll just keep on smoking till I die. If if that's what I have to do, if I have to trade one bad habit for another bad habit, not going to do it. Just I refuse to do that. And I know a lot of people do when they quit smoking. My son-in-law, Misty may be watching. He told me the other day. He said he probably gained 100 pounds, Lenny. He was as small as I am, and when he quit smoking, he said I just started eating more and more, just eating, and he probably gained over 100 some pounds since he quit smoking, and which that's unhealthy too, and it's probably neither here nor there which is the most unhealthy. Breathing all those, and a lot of people. I'm 58 years old, okay, so a lot of people are saying, why are you quitting now? What's the point in it? You know, and the point is this: no matter how old you are, 50, 60, 70, 80s, there's always benefit to stopping smoking. One thing, you save money. Me and India figured we're going to save around $8,000 a year, something like that. Okay, $25 a day times 30. What is that? 23 times about $800. 750. 25 times 30 days. Around 800 a month, which you times that by. Well, actually, we're saving probably 9,000, close to $10,000 a year with me and her both stopping smoking, and that's a lot of money because we smoke, me and her together. We buy 3 packs a day, and a lot of days we'd have to buy an extra pack to make that fourth pack, and we'd spend around $25 a day. And there was never a day where we spent less than that. Never a day where we spent less than that. There was days that was we spent a lot more than that on days we were stressed, days we were going to get units and driving and stuff. Yeah, I mean that's with what Jason just said. They're $12 a pack, and I think William Albright, showed me something where they're that where he lives at too. Sent me a sticker where or a ticket where he'd bought some Newports. That right there for me in India would be $50 a day. That'd be double. And we never smoked less. You never could say, well, one day we didn't do that $25. That wasn't the case. One day we might smoke 2 packs apiece and raise it up $5 or $10. So, yeah, we're going to be saving money that way. And the biggest thing I got is time now, because smoking takes a lot of your time up in your life. You guys know during the auction, I said I'm going to take my break. You know what I do? I go smoke me a couple cigarettes. Here the last week I did, and I didn't know what to do when I took a break. I went over and got me some watermelon or whatever it was. But it takes a lot of your time up. The whole time I'm sitting eating, hey Mike, the whole time I'm sitting eating a nice dinner, I'm thinking about, boy, I want to hurry up and get done with this dinner because I'm gonna have a nice cigarette outside. And then you sometimes you get up before your order gets there, and I'm gonna go out and smoke while I'm waiting on my order. There's a lot of smoking takes up a lot of time. It really does. Every time you take a smoke break or you stop to smoke a cigarette, there it takes up a lot of time. And my biggest problem right now is filling up that time that the smoking took. I've got a lot of free time, and I didn't realize how much smoking actually takes up your time also, besides your money. But getting back to you're never too old to stop because uh, within 3 or 4 days, your body's already trying to filter this stuff out and clean stuff up. No matter how old you are, your blood pressure's going to get better, your heart rate's going to get better, your chances of dying of heart attack, stroke, and cancer drop some. Okay, so don't think, well, I'm already 50, 60, 40s. I've smoked all my life. No use in me quitting now. That's what I thought too, but I can tell a big difference now. I mean, when I breathe in like that, it just feels like I'm getting that oxygen that I'm supposed to be getting throughout my body. It seems like my circulation is better. And I notice here lately, when I go up steps, my legs got to aching. I know it, Mike, and that's another big thing. Uh, just it's a stigma that's attached to it. And one thing I'm never going to do, people that smoke or anything, I'm not going to be rude to them or anything like that because I know how it is to be in that position where you're dying for a cigarette and you have to run outside and you're sitting there hiding. Yeah, see, Jason, that's another thing. Jason's talking about kicking another habit there. Uh, you don't stop. Wow. And we're going to be able to with our time and uh, our savings. I mean, you think about it, around $800 or $900 a month. To a lot of people, that's a house payment. That's a nice car payment. So, and that's one thing. I was telling somebody the other day. Uh, me and India, we don't drive a new vehicle. We got a vehicle. I think we paid $3,000 for it. My truck, and then her vehicle. I think we paid $3,000 for that. Uh, we don't drive a new vehicle. We don't get. We ain't got fancy boats. We ain't got fancy motorcycles. Right now, my house. We throw everything into our kids and our business. Uh, I know it, Evil Eddie. But my heat and cooling system, I'm gonna have to replace that pretty soon. Uh, I need to do a lot of. We have a beautiful house with 12-foot ceilings, and it's historical, and I've got to do a lot of work to that. Uh, it's just a lot of things that we can use that time that we spent smoking actually uh, doing things we need to do, and maybe buying a new Corvette. I don't really. If I bought something new, Jason, it'd probably be I'd love to have a new truck. Probably. I've never had a new truck, but that's what I love to have. But we're trying to change our lifestyle around, and you know, we were last week. The first 2 or 3 days, it's probably the hardest. And you know, Bill Horvath, Jason, I like your testimony there. But Bill Horvath was. Can you turn that down, please?
Yeah.
Pop, pop. Bill Horvath said the other night, said, Jerry, if you can do this, maybe I can quit drinking. Yeah. Well, you know, it's getting a lot easier. And like I said, I don't want to replace one bad habit for another with vapes. I don't want to just eat myself to where I gain so much weight. I'm just miserable and unhealthy. Uh, we've already actually started losing weight. And when me and India gets to a point to where I can really declare success in stopping smoking, I don't feel comfortable in declaring that success right now. I want to get on here and share some of the tips that we got from some of you guys and some of the things that we done differently this time that's making this journey more successful than other times. I'd love to share it with people to let people know, and it's not only with the smokes. It's with a lot of other different addictions and stuff. You can change. You remember the movie Knight's Tale? Uh, the dad told the son that as he was putting him in as an indentured servant or apprentice to one of the knights. You know, he talks about can he change his stars? You can change your stars. A person can. You don't have to be in the same rut. The people you can change, no matter what it is, no matter what you're going through. There's always some kind of avenues to where you can change. And one thing that I've started doing with some of my time is talking to God. I went out the other day, walked up and down my sidewalk. Was that Lenny talked about there the first 4 days quitting is worse, and that was in that area there, Jason. And I went out on the sidewalk. It's probably 11:30 midnight, and I just walked up and down the sidewalk, looked up into the sky, the moon shining, and started talking to God. And me and him talked about some wonderful stuff. It's wonderful. He took me back in some memories of my childhood and my mother and things like that, and it completely got my mind off of wanting a cigarette. So, but I wanted to have this talk, not just talk about. A lot of you, you want to hear some stories about storage units, about treasures that we found, and we want to share some of that with you guys. Uh, I didn't want to just get on here and talk about smoking. We got. And I want to tell you, I don't know if there's any local people that's watching now, but I want to remind all you local people there was news that hit yesterday. Okay. Oh, we got so many dogs, Jason. I don't want no more dogs. I don't want more dogs or cats. But we we had some news that broke yesterday. Hey, William Albright, I was just talking about you a while ago. Your Newport receipt you sent me was like $13. Was it $13 a pack? Evil Lenny, Jason was talking about them being $12 a pack in New York. But we had some news that broke yesterday. Two businessmen, prominent businessmen here in Scottsville, got indicted by a federal grand jury for bid rigging during a real estate auction for some property, a farm in 2018. And they are two prominent businessmen here in Scottsville. And I want to just remind everybody you're innocent until proven guilty. Just because they've been indicted, hey Jim, just because they've been indicted does not mean they're guilty. They're innocent until proven guilty. But they're prominent businessmen. That's two of the most prominent businessmen here in Scottsville and Allen County. Uh, I know both of them. I know both of them most of my life. Uh, they're not real close friends with me, but they've got a lot of connections all over this whole town. And apparently, uh, the indictment that came down from the federal system accuses them of bid rigging with two or maybe more co-conspirators that were at an auction and they were bidding on for this farm with a lot of timber on it, things like that. And they made the deal with two other people that was bidding on the farm, apparently, uh, and got paid $40,000 to stop bidding. And of course, when they stopped bidding, that made the price of the farm go down, which is not right. But I want to remind everybody here in Scottsville to pray for these men and their family. Just like I would. Now listen, they've been indicted, just like I would with that person walking up the road that got indicted for meth, uh, for having meth on them. I pray for them, and they're no different. Okay, they got indicted. We're gonna pray for them, and just remember, I mean, we can run our mouth and talk about people, and uh, we just put it out there. That's what the indictments were. We'll let the court take care of it. They'll go before their a jury that's their peers, and they'll be judged, and that's that's the way that happened. But for us and I've seen a lot of people really tearing them down on Facebook. Yeah, and Sandra, I'm just afraid for these two individuals because it involved a farm, and you can read in the statement, the press release that they came out with. They are really upset because farmers are the backbone of our country, and when you deflate the price of their property, it hurts farmers. It hurts all farmers. And I'm afraid they're going to use this case and use these two as an example. Probably any other time or any other place, the maximum fine is $1 million. The maximum sentence is 10 years. And any other time, they probably would have got a smaller fine uh, and just probation or something like that. But I'm afraid that they are going to really throw the book at them to make a lesson that you don't mess with farmers. And that's what I read into the press release that they came out with, the Justice Department came out with. I read that these two are going to really face the wrath of for everybody else that's done something shady. But I'm just reminding everybody, let's pull back uh, and let the court work it out. Wow, Sandra, that's crazy. And Mike said, wonder why they didn't set a reserve on something as big as a farm. Uh, More than likely, it was an estate they was trying to settle, and if there's families don't agree, the court orders it to be sold and go over to the estate and then be divided up to the rightful parties. So uh, I don't know for sure that was the case here, Mike, but that might have been the case to where it was an estate and nobody could agree on anything, and the judge just ordered the whole farm sold, and then it was divided up. Or the family was needing money, and they needed to sell the farm. I don't know. It happened in 2018, uh, but what they did is try to deflate the price because if they had kept bidding against these, because they're big investors, if they'd kept bidding against these other two that was trying to buy the farm, the price would have probably increased maybe a couple 100,000 or whatever. But by them saying, you know, you give us $40,000 and we won't bid no more. And I think even in the press release it said the auctioneer, it wasn't them doing conducting the auction. The auctioneer even told them, guys, you can't do that. That's illegal to do that. And it all come out in court. I just want to remind everybody, let's take it easy on them because they both have great, huge businesses. They have children. They have family. They have husbands and wives, or they have wives. I hope they don't got husbands, but and their families reading all this stuff that we're putting on the internet. We need to pray for them. They're innocent until proven guilty. I mean, I know a lot of people, well, they did this, and by the time they got caught, and all this stuff. I don't want to be like that. I want to pray for them because, you know, it could be me or you that something happens. Uh, you know, you don't never know. And we would want people being praying for us if it was us or one of our family members that something happened to. So let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. And Sandra and Mike and Jason, a lot of you guys, you wouldn't know these people if you've seen them. And it's called collusion, is what it is, and that was called bid rigging. But you know, when I used to have my in-house auctions, you know, I would overhear people saying, you know, they would look around at what we had coming up for sale, and one of them say, you know, I'm bidding on this right here. If you don't bid against me, I won't bid against you on your stuff. And what that done, that deflated the prices of my items, and it's called collusion. And actually, that's bid rigging too. Yeah, and you know, Mike, that's what I said. If they wind up being guilty of this, they probably didn't think the greed was causing them not to think. I don't think they were intentionally thinking that they was going to hurt anybody. Yes, Gettysburg Rich, I will. But you know, and if it winds up being true, they did it because of greed. That's it. Uh, and they didn't need to. They already both businesses are well off. They didn't need that 20,000 each and that 40,000 together. They did not need that, and it's greed. Now you take the meth head that steals. You know, I've got a niece that I talk about a lot because she's on pills, she's on everything, she does nothing but go around and steal. And I've rethought talking about her like I have, and talking about others like I have, because of this. And I got to thinking, these rich people done this for greed. They didn't need that money. They wasn't in trouble. Their family wasn't hungry. Their business wasn't fixing to go bankrupt. And you could almost understand that if they needed that $20,000 to pump up their business, to help their business, or they're fixing to lose something valuable to them. You could almost understand them doing that. But it was, like Mike Newsom said, it was completely out of greed. And you take the meth head people, and I don't like to call them meth heads, people that's on meth and crack, they steal to support their habit, which is wrong. But they're not stealing out of greed. They're not stealing to get them a new car. They're not stealing to put more money in their bank. They're not stealing out of greed. They are stealing to support their habit. That's it. And which it's wrong too. And I've talked about my niece. You know, poor little thing. I'm gonna start really trying to pray for them, because these two gentlemen, if it proves to be true, are no better than the crackheads and stuff that are out here stealing from people's cars and things. I mean, there's no difference in it. And I want people of Scottsville and Allen County to see that. Every time you see people walking down the street and you say, "Oh, they're on meth," they stole before. Well, they stole to support their habit. They didn't steal to get a new car. They didn't steal to have pad their bank account. I want people of Scottsville to realize something. These people up here, if they're guilty, they're no different than these people that everybody always puts down. Wrong side of town people. I want people to realize that there's no difference in them, none whatsoever. So yeah, it is. It's completely about the Benjamins. So we're gonna pray for them. We're not gonna say they're guilty. We're not gonna say they did this or they did that. Uh, we're just gonna pray for them, and we're gonna pray for their families because I don't want their families reading something that I may put on Facebook about them. Yeah, it's time they got called, or they did this, or they did that. I don't want one of their sons. I don't want a granddaughter. I don't want one of their family members, because that's hard on family members. We'll just, and and you can't stop people from talking. I know that, but I've decided that I want to just pray for them and hope that it's not true, for our town's sake. But I wanted to get that out there to local people to try to remind you that these two gentlemen are innocent until proven guilty. And I don't care what they've done to you in the past or whatever. This particular thing right here, they are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That's our American justice system, and that's the way it ought to be here in this case. Yeah, William just told that there that for some that didn't read his comment, he said he was put down for 10 years. He was on pills for 10 years, and the last 2 years he did crack cocaine, uh, and he was talked about and he was put down. And now he's delivered from all that. But William, I had when we had our in-house auction at my house in the building behind the house, I had somebody that's on pills and different things come to my door and ask for something to eat. And I told him, I won't mention his name. I said, yeah, I can get you something to eat. I said, I got some bologna in there. Uh, I can feed you. And he came in, and I'll say his first name. Merle came in the back door, and that's what he knocked on. And we brought him in, and I'm going to read Gettysburg's things and Williams' thing again, too. But we brought him in. India fixed him a bologna sandwich, bologna and cheese. We got him something to drink, some chips. I don't remember. I know it was a bologna sandwich, one of my favorites. And he looked at me and he said, "You know something? I can go to any of these people and get a pill off them or get something to get high off them, but they won't feed me. Not a one of them will feed me a bologna sandwich like you have, Jerry." And that meant something to me, coming from this person. And that's one reason we started the Samaritan boxes. So, so these people will eat something, and it may help them. So people do. We put down. And we do it every day. The person that's begging on the street to feed their habit. The person that's doing this or that to feed that habit. We put them down. We stop to forget that, like in this situation, those people are just as bad as them. So we all just need to pray for each other maybe a little bit more. And Gettysburg Rich said he's been clean for 16 years from coke. We need to have that late night Jed stream someday, Jerry. Yes, we want to do that, Gettysburg Rich. I want to have that, and we want to promote it a little bit and just let people get on here and talk. And we might be able to actually do get a Zoom or something, or a video feed from some of you guys to put in here. I think I can do that. I think I can get with this program I'm using. I think we can get a video stream and put it right in here so you guys we can talk back and forth to each other on that. Yeah, little Will. Big shout out. So, Mike's talking about the drugs make you do crazy things while it slowly steals away your life. And, and India's got a great testimony, guys. And some of you that were with us last year, you know some of the story, some of the things that happened in my life, and how that it, not me on drugs, but how that drugs came into her family. And I'll let India tell her story someday. She's got a great testimony. Uh, how that things happened to where drugs and evil people took control of her life, brainwashed her, and put me through a living hell. Okay, a total living hell. The worst time of my life was those 2 weeks. I mean, it was the worst time, and I looked around and I said, I've done nothing wrong. I was like Job. Why has this happened to me? Uh, why? And it was because of drugs. Because drugs will destroy a relationship. Drugs will destroy a family. Drugs will destroy a business. But during those 2 weeks, we fought. We fought, and some of you guys helped me through that. You sure did. And God took care of it. And India's got a great testimony. Hers was pain pills. She'd had surgery on her back, and she just got hooked on them. And she's told this before. And then it led to other things. Uh, when they don't do as good a thing for you. And I was always the evil person. I mean, I was always the one that was hated because, you need to stop. You don't need to do that, and you're just trying to control me and all this. And the person that lives with the son or the wife or the husband or whatever it might be, they are the people that take the brunt of these people that's addicted anger, especially when you're trying to help them, because you're evil. You don't care about me. And you're just trying to control my life and things like that. So, caregivers, and that's what we become. And oftentimes we get tired and we just say, we're not going to do it for a while, and we actually are enablers then. Go ahead. We're just tired of fighting right now. And then we pick back up the fight, and it's just a never-ending cycle. But through prayer and through prayer and God, we overcame it. I'm telling you. I believe God sends angels. And I'm going to try to go back and read some of this, okay? Because I don't want to lose my train of thought. But I believe God sends angels. I believe that with all my heart. And I believe God can take certain people and he can put words in their mouth, just like he did Pharaoh. When Moses would say, God has said, let my people go. And sometimes God would harden Pharaoh's heart to where Pharaoh said, no, I'm not going to let them go. Or, yeah, I'm going to let them go. So I know God, I've seen God work through our life like that by confounding people's thoughts and confusing them. This happened, guys, and I know that he sends angels to protect us, to protect our families. We just got to believe in him and trust in him when these things happen to us. And I never did think I'd ever have to go through what I went through. But through my suffering, I was taught a lot, because I'm not one that's without sin. So I was thinking I didn't do nothing in this situation. It's entirely not my fault, but I'd done enough bad in my life that I thought, well, I'm getting what I deserve, regardless of this situation. I'm getting what I deserve. And all right, I'm gonna read this. One time, my late son stole $250 from my $800 rent money. Had to laugh when he did not take whole thing. He was a good kid. Oh, he didn't. That's what they do. They actually they'll take some, but they won't take it all. And that's where it starts at. They're not thieves, but they start with family members. Stealing a ring here, stealing a watch here, just little things, and then eventually they graduate onto breaking into cars and things like that. William said his started from a car accident. My so-called friend yanked my emergency brake while I was doing 75, and we hit two pine trees and then hit a telephone pole and was ejected from the car. My goodness, William. Yeah, yeah, it is. When you love someone, it is. You're exactly right, Gettysburg Rich. But wow, William, that's crazy, man. Pulled the emergency brake. Wow, I just can't imagine that. And Jason talking about getting T-boned at 75 miles per hour. Ouch. William, you and Jason, really it does. And that's crazy, guys. It just is. But I'm telling you, God does send his angels sometimes. And William, no doubt, when you hit that the pine trees and the telephone pole, and you're ejected out of the car, there were some angels there. There had to be. And see who that is, Cornbread. Tell them I'm live right now. Yeah, and a lot of people, it starts out like that. I'm live on the air here, Kenneth. Yeah, turn the light on for me up there, Cornbread. I'll be done here in just a minute. That's the first time I've heard him called that in a little while. And William said, and that and that's where a lot of people mess up. Wow, they get delivered from these things, and then they oh, buddy, like been in the hospital since the 13th for lung cancer surgery. We definitely, buddy, we're gonna be praying. Okay, we are. And you can still get $50 at the bank. You can, but we're wanting to, we will. We got it. We got it. We're actually wanting to do a show similar to like today's, to where we talk about things like this. We can talk about politics. We can talk about religion. We can talk about God. We can talk about why we think evil things happen to good people sometimes, and it seems like the evil prosper sometimes. Well, there's a whole lot. We can talk about national issues. I love to talk, and sometimes there's so many things that's going on in the world. To sit here and to talk about it sometimes helps us understand. So that, and plus, I want to throw in.
April said hi.
Hey, April, over in West Virginia. Hey, Melissa. But yeah, it's we want to do a talk show. I know it. They do. I asked my bank one day, do they ever get any, like Morgan silver dollars or anything in? And she said they do, but they don't hand them out. There was a lady at a junior food store, like a Minute Mart like place, convenience store, and she said somebody came in and bought some, I think it was cigarettes, with Morgan silver dollars and peace dollars. She showed them to me, and they about 15 of them. And so when they got done paying for it with that, she called the manager and she said, "Can I swap out these with dollars?" Swap out these with dollars, and the manager said, "I don't care, as long as it's the same amount of money." So she wound up getting like 15 Morgan silver dollars, which 15 usually from 20, 30, 40 a piece, depending on what they are. $500 right there, bam. Yeah, a lot of people do. And we've not come across it in a long time. We will, Gettysburg Rich. We want to schedule that. I wanted to tell one story Hey, Bill, I want to tell one story about storage units. That's what I was supposed to got on here for, but it led to whatever it got. And I enjoyed talking to you guys. But I want to tell the story about Clarksville, Tennessee. We've been, we've got one of them at the house too, and I'm enjoying it. And Bill said I gave too much information when I was talking about smoking in her bedroom. But man, it stinks in there. Boy, he smoked in there. And I've just been off these for 6 days, and already I can smell. I'm thinking, good night. When people my children or whatever would come in that bedroom, they have to smell this stuff. Purifier, yeah. Yes, Mike Newsom. It's really a friend of mine owns a business down here, Jimmy's Furniture. Jennifer and Jen. He got real sick, and he's a good guy, a real good guy. Jimmy is, and he's got COVID right now. They found out that it was COVID. So yeah, we still got to be careful. But our case rates, even in Kentucky, I think we're down to like 2.4% tests coming back positive. We're hard to track down, Tebow said. But the Clarksville unit, I gave like $800 for it. You guys watched how I bid on the units in Mount Juliet. Through a pipe, Gettysburg Rich. See, I can't switch for a pipe or a cigar. Even though people that smoke cigars, they don't inhale them in their lungs. They twirl it around their mouth, blow it out their nose. A former smoker, we tried to smoke a cigarette, we'd inhale it. There you go, Jim. If you want to sell, Bill Horvath is interested. And Lenny and some other people. And guys, if you guys want to trade and sell on here, even during my auction, as long as I get my auction numbers there, you guys can talk about what you want to. As long as, it stays family oriented and all that. But the Clarksville unit, for the third and final time, $800 some, which wasn't high, but Clarksville's like an hour and a half away from us, 2 hours. It's not a bad drive, but it's not interstate driving. It's not real quick. It's a lot of country roads, and we get down there, and I'm actually making a joke on the way down there. Wouldn't it be funny if all these boxes were empty?
We were.
And we got down there and paid for it, opened the door up, and lo and behold, the first box I checked is empty. I thought, oh crap. Second box I checked is empty. Third box I checked, it's got something in it. It's trash. So every one of those boxes were empty. And the reason I bid so much on it, there was a Chuck Norris, some kind of workout thing that I knew would sell for like $500 or $600. Worth thousands of dollars. I knew I'd probably get $300 or $400 out of it, and some other things I read on the box. But everyone, big flat screen TV box, empty. Yeah, I will tell you about that, Bill. But yeah, so it was. We had to. You got to clean that out. You can't just say, "Oh, it's all empty. We're locking the gate, locking the door, and just leaving it," because you'll get blackballed and won't be able to bid no more. So we cleaned it out, strapped all them empty boxes onto the wagon that I had, and took a loss. But yes, most of the time, especially the narcotics that we find, we try to turn them into the sheriff's office or flush them. But they do have a place at the sheriff's department to where even people that's got old medicine, they need to turn it in. They can turn it in, because if you throw them away and it goes out here to the landfill, they do have jail inmates that work out here as part of their, trying to get out of jail. They work out here to, try to be out a little bit. So you have to be careful about police be careful about throwing anything in the trash, because I'm sure a lot of counties are like that. They work inmates to, sort of pick up the slack. And we don't need that kind of stuff floating around out there for them. Yeah, Mike. And you know what I'm trying to do, Mike, is uh, not really, not really replace the cigarettes with anything. Because I wasn't born with the cigarettes. I wasn't born with that habit. For many years, I didn't smoke. I didn't have that habit. But I have had to have, Mike. I've not did the toothpicks, but I've thought about that. The peppermint ones. I did the Altoids. Is that what they pronounce it? The Altoids. Just pop one of them in my mouth. But that answers Bill's question. But and I'll tell y'all the next time we come on here. Not now. Some of you have already heard this story. A week later, we bought 3 storage units in Chattanooga, Tennessee. You're right, Bill. I know, and I do have assistants. And I'm not going to replace it with these. I'm telling you, a lot of people try to. I'm not going to. But when I have a real bad crisis, I just get one of these, take a few puffs because I'm doing something I'm doing something with my hands, but I don't use it. I know a lot of people quit and they'll just puff on these constantly. One bad habit for another, not going to do it. But yeah, I thought about getting some of those cinnamon toothpicks and stuff, what Mike talks about. But I really, really want to just try to make it through it and return my life to normal before we. None of my kids smoke, and that's amazing. None of my grown kids, none of them. And none of the grandkids, none of them smoke or dip or anything like that.
Yes, they do.
Who?
I do.
Oh, Cornbread does. He dips. Yeah, and suckers can help. And I've got my teeth through the years of nicotine, all this.
I ain't had a dip today.
Not taking care of my teeth. I've got to get some work done to my teeth. I'm afraid to death of dentists, and I've got to get work done on my teeth, or I'm gonna lose every one of them. And I tell you what, we did a test. Yeah, I know it. We did a test. I don't drink a lot, and probably gonna drink even less. Because I don't think it's good for blood pressure and when you get this age. But we did a test the last couple of nights. Because I was afraid if I ever did drink socially, that I would automatically smoke a cigarette. So we did a mixed drink and a half last night, and I didn't. I made it through without smoking because that was my worst fear. Me and Indy celebrating something sometime or another, and having a few too many beers or whatever, and then smoking. I figured that would happen, but it didn't happen. I tested it 2 nights in a row, and it helped with my nerves a little bit too, but it didn't. I didn't want to grab one, nothing like that. So it's working pretty good, guys. And we'll soon be a week, right, without smoking any. But now I went in Save-A-Lot. I think me and Indy went in Save-A-Lot yesterday evening. And when I walked through the door, somebody had just put a cigarette out. And truthfully, Mike, Bill, everybody, Vanis, for the first time in those several days, that smelled good. It did. It really did. It smelled really good. So that was the only time that it did. And everybody's wanting me to sell something. I ain't got no clerk here. I've thought about doing a Sunday afternoon after everybody gets out of church, and you're sitting around after you ate and stuff. I've thought about doing a Sunday afternoon auction to see how it does. Dang it, I got $25 bid, guys.
All right, what are we selling?
I don't know.
Found it.
But my brother and his wife has I can sell something. We'll sell something.
Here.
No. We'll sell something. Hold on just a minute. Probably over 2. I would, when the doctors would ask me, April, I would always be like, hold on a minute, Cornbread, quit. I'm trying to be serious here. I would always be like, I smoke a little over a pack a day, or a pack and a half maybe. But truthfully, April, probably over 2 packs. Some days maybe close to 3.
I'm doing
Yeah,
that for auction.
yeah,
I'll do it.
that's what I'm trying, and I need to work in another auction somewhere or another. But the only thing about it, the shipping part. And by the way, India's got everything packed, and we're going to get it out tomorrow. The only problem I have is combining shipping. If we spread them out too far, we'll have to pick out a certain time to ship everything. So I'm going to sell something.
Here you go.
No, Cornbread, I'll do the picking here, Vanna White. I'll do the picking here, Vanna. All right, guys, we're going to sell an item, and we'll put this on the invoice Tuesday night. Okay? We're going to sell, what do you call that?
A grill.
A portable barbecue grill.
We're going to do this one together.
Isn't that cool? Right there. Sell his future hat. He's crying about that hat. Who was it that bought that?
T-Boat.
He cried about that hat, T-Boat, forever. No Jeff Gordon, please. All right, guys. We're going to sell this, and this will be our one item, and then we got to get off here. We'll have some fun with it. And this will be the first item on Tuesday night sale. It's a nice little portable grill you can take, to the beach with you, camping or whatever, and not have to have a big old grill. It's not heavy at all. And April, what I was telling you today about shipping, most of the time, like one item, the post office or FedEx, you're not gonna get any items very much less than $8-9. That's just the way they are. So when you combine shipping with a lot of things, you get a better deal on shipping. That's what I was trying to explain to you in my text back to you, April. I got $5. That's what I was afraid of, Bill. That's why I'm not. See, I'm at $5. This is a great item to have here. The only one I got. And matter of fact, we grilled last night. Me and Cornbread and India and the girls. So I'm at $5 with Gettysburg Ritz, and it's not real heavy. But say what happens, April, if you bought this, then you bought some other items. We can stack right here and stack right here and stack right here, and have a pretty good little size box. And the shipping cut becomes minimal per item. But if you just get one item, it's always going to be $8 or $10 or $12 for one item, no matter what it is, unless it's a book we do media rate. Mike Nixon wants to know the drawing.
You got $7.
I got 7.5, 10. I don't know Gettysburg Ritz, but he's bidding against you. He ain't got no Uncle Jed bucks left, so he's not playing with house money tonight. So I'm at 7.5. Gas, probably a $25 item. We're at 8, 9. Y'all better not bid like this Tuesday night. Y'all seen what happened to me the other night. But I should be calmed down. Should be calmed down a lot Tuesday night. If Vanna White would get out from behind me here. But we should be really calmed down a lot. India's doing really good too, guys. It's not just me. But we're at 10, 12.5. Bill Harvard, where'd you go? You want me to sell something? Here we go. Everybody's paying attention to Cornbread, not paying attention to our item. Yeah, Cornbread. So we're going to sell this $25 grill to Sammy probably for $10, all because of you.
We'll charge him triple.
Vanna White. See, Gettysburg saw you doing that back there, and he said, I ain't even going to bid no more. Got all that going on in the background and everything. Just ain't going to bid no more. Need to sell some gospel hymnals today?
We got some.
I got them. $5 a piece, so 5 for 20, Bill. You can get the red book or the blue book, and they got all your favorites in it. But I'm at 10, 12.5, $10 bid. Don't even mention that, Rich.
Or the pressure cooker.
All right, guys, you got to let this go for $10 because we got to go. I'm going to wait about 10 seconds, and we're going to call it sold. And Sammy, you can bring me my $10 up here. That's a pretty good deal there. The one I throwed, I think India looked at it and somebody had probably used it and returned it, but first thing I seen was fuzz and stuff all over it, and it just messed. Yeah, I know Gettysburg Ridge. He did. I got to teach him about that. No, I don't owe you nothing, Sammy. You used all your Uncle Jed bucks up. You got paid for what little work you did the other day. So I don't owe you nothing. You owe me $10. Sold to Sammy Hudgens, $10.
Now I can drop it.
There it is. All right, guys, we're going to get off here. My brother and them, I'm going to visit with them just a little bit, him and his wife. But Mike Newsom, this is, instead of the toothpicks, me and India I like the cinnamon ones. These are the peppermint ones. I pop one of these in my mouth, and it gives a little tingling in there. No. I told it is like, who was it we was billing? Bill Smith, wasn't it? We was billing Bill. And Bill got lucky. He got the pressure cooker for $10, and then he won like $54 Uncle Jed bucks with India's dice. So I said, why is Bill's invoice, and I called his real name out. I said, why is it 0? And she's like, because of my dice. And then I remembered. So, no more dice. Yeah. We're going to mix it up with some, and I think everybody likes the wheel, the guessing on it, whether I'm telling the truth or not. We just need to add maybe a few more little surprise things on there. But I'm going to get off here, guys. God bless y'all. We love y'all. Appreciate the talk. And Gettysburg Rich, everybody, we will have a good little testimony night one night. Sandra remembers when I was really down and out, we did slumber parties. And they were actually fun at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. All right. 7 o'clock Central, which will be your time will be 8 Eastern. See you guys. Bye, y'all. Have a great Sunday afternoon.
Bye.